the smash intro.
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I apologize. I do apologize for the delay here, but it looks like the game did begin. Unfortunately, we weren't able to make it into the lobby, and I apologize for maybe the scuffed overlays a little bit as well. As we have made it in, and just trying my best to make this look good. We have made it into the ace match here between Cure and Solar. Didn't quite catch the openers, but we do have the initial Hellions diving in. 5 workers are going to be going down here already here in the early game. We missed out on game 1, we missed out on game 2, we missed out on the first couple of minutes of game 3. It's a bit of a shame, but regardless, we at least are going to be able to catch the tail end of the ace match of this upper semifinals match. No predictions here for Cure versus Solar. No predictions yet. Again, we'll preserve those for the grand finals. It's all good. It's all good. As I just try to set a couple of things up very quickly here. Oh, there we. There we go. I was just setting up the title of the stream, but it looks to be a bit of a 1-1-1 opener here from Cure. It looks like a 3cc 1-1-1, so very economic here from our Korean Terran. Is there a better way for me to do to do this? As I'm just capturing the Discord screen share here of Chicken Man. Shout out to Chicken Man, by the way, as he's going to be observing here and is, of course, one of the lovely people behind KSL in general. Great guy, great guy. He's also a fellow fowl. You know, we're ducks. He's a chicken. You love to see it. Do love to see it. As there we go. Just trying to get the audio sorted out as well. But yeah. Outside of this, looks like a pretty standard opener from it. Cure, likewise, Solar has been able to establish himself as well. As I say that, the Banshees, they do dive in. They are going to be delaying the 4th base. That's a kill on that drone. They're headed towards the natural as well, but the Queens are going to be able to arrive in time. Going to be able to zone away those Banshees, and yeah, Solar's at least able to preserve his worker count, but I can't say the same about this 4th base, as that's another cancel on the 4th. A massive delay here from Solar. God, he's just having a really hard time establishing a 4th base. The longer this goes on, the worse it is going to be. This is eating into not just his economy, but also eating into his production as well. He needs that lava. The Queens are rotating over. Finally, Solar is going to be able to deal with these Banshees at the same time he goes for a Ling run by a Ling counterattack. We saw him lose drones earlier to those Hellions. He has to do something across the map, and it looks like he's going to buy time, but he's not really going to find too much economic damage. He forces the Hellions to go back into the main, but not too much more than that. Lings are going to get cleaned up, and Cure is working towards... yes, Cure is just actually going to be keeping those Banshees alive. I thought they were going to be shut down by the Queens, but no, they survived. Cure is so meticulous here with his units, just squeezing out as much value as he can. It's actually pretty insane. It's pretty insane how much he has gotten. How much damage he has gotten here with as few units as he has with those Hellions, with those Banshees. Behind this, Solar is trying to get into Ling Bane Hydra. The Hydra Den is already thrown down as we speak, but Solar's economy is really hurting. It's taken him a really long time to drone up to 71. It's taking him a really long time to actually saturate his bases, and as a result, I do want to say that Cure has a lot more momentum going his way, especially after preserving the Hellions and the Banshees. He has quite a lot to support his bio push, his tank push. Alien's going to do a great job at dealing with those initial Lings, at shaving off even Banelings as time goes by. Here we go. We do have the Marines stimming on forward, taking down so much of this creep already. Baneling speed is done, thankfully, for this push, so Solar shouldn't really lose his 4th base. But he has to be careful not to take too many tank shots to the face. As he does pull back, the armory is done. We can morph in some Hellbats behind this to preserve those tanks. Go for the Cure move. There we go. The Hellbats are being morphed in. We have another double drop being sent out towards the left-hand side of the map. Solar, can he split up his army in time? Can he defend? It looks like he's going to be able to keep up with the movement of Cure, and does take a decent bailing, or does get a decent bailing connection. Meanwhile, across the map, here comes that double drop. Cure stimming on forward, getting on top of the overlords, getting on top of these queens. But yeah, not quite actually going to be able to get that queen in the end. The Marines, sorry, the Lings are able to keep up here with the drop play of Cure. It was a rough start for Solar, but he's stabilizing. He's up to 83 drones, so he's able to break into that 80 worker mark. Hydras are coming out. I think we are lacking in the... Okay, we have the infestation bit. We just now started the lair. We can work towards Vipers and even Lurkers, potentially. I don't want to scare anyone yet. But yeah, Solar, he's stabilizing. He could, unfortunately, he's still struggling to spread creep on the right hand side just because of those tanks. He just hasn't been able to deal with that position. So that does create an avenue of attack here for Cure. He's going to be able to capitalize on the lack of creep spread on the right hand side, and he can reinforce that push. For the time being, though, he's actually not going to. He's going to be leaving that alone. He's going to be pushing through the center of the map instead. He's more concerned with making sure that Solar doesn't have, or isn't too comfortable here on the left-hand side as well. Making sure that the creep doesn't get out of control. There we go. As soon as we see the army, he does pull back in time. Tumors going down. Oh, and a bit of friendly fire there from those mines. Not the best connections in favor of Cure. Mines get cleaned up at the same time. Cure pushes on forward with his Lings, sorry, with his Marines, with his Hellbats. Is going to be threatening the hatchery, but with the arrival of these Lings, oh, actually, no, he's going to be able to deal with this. Oh, almost. The Banelings arrive. The connections are looking pretty damn good, and yeah, Cure is gonna be losing this push. Also, I apologize if we're having a little bit of stuttering here, but it's the best we can do. It's a Discord stream. What do you what do you want? As the double drop moves on in again, just trading here with the army, just trading with these tumors. Oh. So far, so good. Both players have maxed out. Hive is now done for Solar. With that, we're now working on 3. Oh, we should be working on 3-3 momentarily. We have Adrenal. We have the Lurker Den on the way. Solar has been able to get into kind of his late game tech. He's still refining his army as we speak, but it's not looking too bad for him. Meanwhile, Cure likewise is still working on his own. Ghost Academy on the way. Additional CCs as well. Marauders are going to be able to focus down at least one of those queens, but we still can't get on top of the hatchery. Still not quite. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, Solar, he's had enough. He's had enough defending. He moves out across the map with these Banelings. He does force a cancel on one of those CCs. He gets a kill on the planetary. That was a lot of supply. That was a lot of Banelings, and oh, that does create an opening. Even though Q loses the base, he takes down bottom right. He almost takes down center base. Double drop comes in on the left-hand side. The multi-prong aggression from Q is insane. Solar is able to keep up for the most part, but he did lose a pretty important base. Up, oof. Almost a full medevac goes down. But yeah, the problem is that, like, Solar loses a hatchery, and even though he killed a planetary, we have a CC right next to it that's just about to finish. Like, it's not going to slow down Cure that much. It's going to take him seconds to replace that base, as he is finally cleaning up what little creep there is on the left-hand side. All the active tumors do go down. And Solar, he's losing map control a little bit. I do think that he's still a little bit safer in the center of the map, and with that he's able to take that center base as well. But his fringe bases are that much more exposed. Meanwhile, we still haven't gotten into the Lurkers. We have Seismic Spines on the way. That is Lurker range, still in production. After that, we're going to be working towards Adaptive Talons. +3 melee still hasn't started either here. That has kind of slipped by Solar's mind. We're waiting here for... actually, we're going to be going for range instead. Interesting. Going to be delaying melee. Solar wants to be active once again. He does come across a fresh mining base of his opponent. Should be able to shut it down with these Hydras. Should be able to bring it down in the end. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we do see Solar skirmishing as well off of creep. He's going to take a lot of mine shots to the face. Oh, and that was a juicy connection on those banelings. That was not a fight to take here for Solar. Again, very ambitious to fight the army off of creep like that. Does take a bit of a rough trade. We can see Solar is not stopping on the right-hand side. He's going for a bit of a counterattack. He's going to be forced back. It's fine. There it is. Meanwhile, on the left, we see Solar consolidating the majority of his army. It looks like he wants to bring down that planetary. He cannot allow Cure to get another base up and running. And the planetary is going to go down. Cure isn't too far behind this, though. He's going to be able to rotate around, but oh my god, he has to be very careful here with his army. Doesn't want to get caught out by those banelings. He does pull back to the tanks, and oh my god, there are so many tanks behind this. My god. The Ling Bane army gets annihilated. But 2 tanks. Oof. But he got the base. Solar did get the base. He's successfully containing Cure here to 4 bases. Cure has been trying to get a 5th for quite some time, and he just cannot get a 5th up and running. We'll see if he can. At the same time, he's also going for his own drop play. Oh, this is going to be a kill? Oh, no, he's focusing down the Lings. Never mind. Oh, this is going to be a kill. Oh my god, as he gets almost the entire mineral line here. 10 drones go down, as well as the hatchery on the left-hand side. Unfortunately for Cure, the base on the right-hand side will finish. There's even Borrow being researched, because why the hell not? That is going to be able to get up and running. Solar going for his own counterattack. The Nidus is done, but no, we have units waiting in the main base. Nidus will be denied. Oh, the tanks are unsieged. Oh, 1 tank is caught unsieged. Good moment there for Solar. But that's a lot of ghosts. But here we go. The Lings go for a counterattack. They catch an orbital, not a planetary, in the center of the map. Able to deny mining. I feel like we go back to 2008 with this. True. Discord is 2008. Oh god, as we do see Solar once again engaging here, catches these tanks with the blinding clouds, is going to be able to bring down at least 2 of them. But Solar just lost the base. The triangular third just went down. Solar, he is hurting right now. Even though Solar is maxed, look at the bank. He doesn't really have one. He needs to actually get a base properly mining here, and he is squeezing out a couple of hatcheries on the right hand side. Lurkers are coming in for a bit of harass, but no, they are going to be dealt with one after the other. Snipes go off, 2 lurkers go down. Now, Solar is getting away with this gold base, so if he's able to mine from this gold a little bit longer, he is going to be able to stabilize and work towards that bank. But as we say that, there's a drop denying that gold. There's a drop denying that. There we go. There's a drop denying that gold base. It looks like Solar's going to be able to keep up with this. Oof. Full medevac goes down. Very nicely done here from Solar. Meanwhile, Cure still struggling to actually get the center base up and running. Cure, I do think that his economy is struggling a little bit more compared to Solar's. But he has a super maxed army. Cure is down to 63 workers, but he's up to 136 army supply. Oh my god, this is a hefty army. He's moving on now. Denies the base, denies this Nidus. Lurkers are diving on in. The tanks were late to siege. Ooh, and just like that, half of the tank count does go down. I think I said lurkers were late to siege, but I meant to say tanks were late to siege. Both were late to siege, to be fair. But yeah, Cure, he just lost a little momentum. That was the thing keeping him in this game, was his tank count, and just like that, he loses over half of his tanks. And now Solar, he's fighting back quite well. Takes down a couple of ghosts. He's going to have to back off and remax. But again, he's trading well enough. Oh, as he comes in from behind, he catches more of these Marines and Marauders. Looks like the center base is going to be going down to the Marauders, though. God, this is getting very scrappy. This is getting very close. Another hatchery does fall. That gold base is under threat. There's not enough creep here to really support it. Oof. Solar, he has to fight, but he can't fight off of creep. He cannot engage. Another base goes down. A Cure is doing it. He brings down a mineral line. The bottom right-hand hatchery is very low from earlier as well. He doesn't have to push in, but he lands the EMP. He can. EMP does connect. Infestor out of energy. This hatchery will fall as well. Blinding Cloud is going to be buying some time, but we're pushing off of creep like this. I don't know how I feel about this. It's not good. The Blinding Clouds blanket everything, but it's not going to be enough. Solar is on his last legs. GG gets called, and Cure takes the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Oh, hold on. I was supposed to do this. My bad. There we go. GG. Well played. Cure just with too much momentum going his way. Just denying base after base time and time again. I was really concerned after he lost his tanks that he would have lost too much momentum, that Solar would stabilize. But the creep was really working against Solar. Well, there just wasn't enough creep, period. Even though bases were being taken, you saw that like the goal base was very disconnected. The goal base was completely isolated from every other base. There was no creep connecting it, which meant that as Sol was fighting for control of his gold, he was just having a really hard time engaging, so having a really hard time closing the distance and actually diving on the army of Cure. He had to give it up, and he couldn't give it up. If he did, I mean, it would have been game anyway. Oh. Aye, aye, aye. As I do set up my camera once again. Un momento.